A long time ago, in a village called 𝐊𝐫𝐿, located in a greeny forest flowing with a river, a child named 𝐁𝐨𝐫𝐿 was born into the family of Mr. 𝐅𝐞𝐦 and his wife, 𝐼𝐿𝐫𝐿. During the childbirth, as the crying voice of the baby was heard, the midwives were surprised by what they saw. Before them was a baby who had male and female organs. They had never witnessed such a thing in their entire experiences of attending to women during childbirth. In order to protect the baby and her family, the midwives swore an oath to never let anyone know about what they had seen. This was done because they knew it was an abomination to birth such a child in the village. As 𝐁𝐁𝐴 grew, her parents explained the situation of her unique nature to her and warned her never to reveal her secret to anyone because they were afraid of being banished from the village. But one day, something unexpected happened at the village stream. While 𝐁𝐁𝐴 was bathing alone, her friend 𝐵𝐺 stumbled upon her, as she had also come to have her bath in the stream. The encounter was how 𝐁𝐁𝐴's friend got to know that 𝐁𝐁𝐴 had both male and female organs. 𝐵𝐺 immediately demanded for an explanation from 𝐁𝐁𝐴, and 𝐁𝐁𝐴, having no option, answered and said she was born like that. 𝐵𝐺 ran home to her mother, 𝐼𝐵𝐾, and told her what she had seen at the stream. Within a short period of time, word spread through the whole village as a result of this, and in a short while, the villagers gathered at 𝐁𝐁𝐴's home and started accusing her of being the cause of their bad luck and misfortune in the village. They went on to even say that her nature was the cause of their poor harvest during the yearly farming season. 𝐁𝐁𝐴's parents begged the villagers and said what happened to the village during harvest season had nothing to do with their daughter. 𝐁𝐁𝐴's mother, 𝐼𝐿𝐫𝐿, cried and knelt before the villagers, begging them to believe that her daughter was innocent of all the accusations. But the villagers were not satisfied with 𝐼𝐿𝐫𝐿's plea. They decided to take 𝐁𝐁𝐴 and her parents to the village king, King 𝐷𝐴𝐺, for proper judgment. They wanted the king to punish them for what they had done. When they got to the palace, the king asked 𝐵𝐺 to tell him what she had seen at the stream. She told him everything, and the king turned to 𝐁𝐁𝐴 and asked if what 𝐵𝐺 had said was true. 𝐁𝐁𝐴 answered him and said it was the truth. The king was moved by her honesty and turned to her parents to ask them why they had kept such a secret for so long. 𝐅𝐞𝐦, 𝐁𝐁𝐴's father, answered King 𝐷𝐴𝐺 and said they were afraid of losing their daughter, losing their home and getting banished from the village. The king looked at them with pity, understanding that they truly loved their child. He then told his guards to put them in prison. He prepared to travel to the village's sacred land to ask the gods about what he was to do with 𝐁𝐁𝐴 and her parents while they were imprisoned. Before King 𝐷𝐴𝐺 set out for the sacred land in order to get answers from the gods, he instructed his two wives, 𝐁𝐨𝐫𝐺 and 𝐼𝐤𝐫, to take care of 𝐁𝐈𝐾 and her parents. He also left 3 of his strongest warriors behind to guard them at the prison in case the villagers returned to harm them. As the king and his guards traveled through lonely roads, they encountered wild animals and even fought off some to stay alive. On the second day, they continued their journey through the vast thick forest, where they encountered a giant poisonous python in the middle of the night. It took the joint effort of the king and his guards to chase away the python. The journey was peaceful on the 3rd day, and they arrived at the sacred land. The king's guards were on guard as the king went deep into the sacred land. A few hours later, the king returned to them and they set back home immediately. 3 days later, the king arrived at the village from the long journey with answers from the gods. He summoned everyone in the village and announced that the gods had spoken. He said 𝐁𝐾 and her parents were not to be banished from the land, and no one was allowed to harm them. He decreed that she was to be allowed to freely move around the village, and anyone who harmed her would be made to face severe punishment. 𝐁𝐾 went on to live a beautiful life in her village, and no one ever spoke bad of her situation again. People born with both male and female organs live amongst us and will continue living amongst us. This story serves as a reminder that in a world often divided by fear and ignorance, acceptance and understanding can pave the way for a brighter future. Let us embrace our differences and celebrate the beauty of diversity.